Hello and welcome. What the story say? Hi, my day. You see, today I'm wearing Dara Dara. Dara sound like a particular store in America and around the world, right? But let me tell you, that store ain't got nothing on me, sister. This is Dara Dara. It's nice and loose and colorful. Look a story. Look. And if I can show you all the pants, I can show you all the pants. Look at the color of the pants. I can't show you how good I'm going to put a picture. It's a selfie I take. I ain't good at selfie and so. But Dara Dara got you covered. You want eco chic? She got you covered. You want linen? She got you covered. When you're a woman of a particular age, like me and some of y'all, you need clothes that hide the lumps and bumps. And I got my lumps and bumps covered and still looking like it's going on, right? Not too bad for a 50-something-year-old. My sister, Dara Dara, got me covered. Check she out. Instagram, Dara Dara. On Facebook, Dara Dara Handmade. She got you covered. So that's what I'm wearing. Is she a wearing? And she'll send the clothes to America, you know, yeah. So if you're in America, link she up. She'll got you covered. Today, we are going to continue in the series Bearing Witness. How I bear witness and how our people bear witness. Especially during this emancipation period where we remember our ancestors and we think more about how far we've come, what we're doing and where we're going. Sometimes it seems like we're always looking back, but today I'm not looking back. I am bringing Mr. Oswald McGarrell to tell you his story about emancipation in this, what I'm calling a little docu-series, right? Now, Oswald McGarrell is a guy from the village. He's a man from the village. I grew up knowing he, because we were schoolmates. We went to the same school. We weren't classmates, he's a little older than me, but they used to call him in the village, he got his bona fide fast name, Piggies. But he come from humble beginnings and is doing big things in the village. So I want you to give him your attention. If you can't watch the whole interview, put a pause and come back to it. And like and share. More importantly, share. The like thing here. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But share it so that we can spread the stories, so that people can learn about what's happening in the village and how far we've come. You know Deanne from Our Story Got Melody? Deanne say, then this is Emanci story. Not Nancy story, Emanci story, emancipation story, like it bad. So, big up Deanne, hail up. She got it right. This story, this I could tell her one of them kind of story though. So yeah, listen good. And tonight, 4:30 to 6:30, well it's night time, no, it's morning for me, it's evening time for you. This evening, you come on the Zoom. We're going to get Dr. Owen Oswald, we call it Pat Oswald, by from the village. I'm a schoolmate too, a little older than me, and the Baird medical doctor. But let me tell you something, that I stop you from writing and talking Creolese, you come on and you going to talk about them false name, and you're going to talk about a bad man named Blacker. Blacker is a book, it's on Amazon, $13, I think paperback. And you can get it on Kindle too, and then you write one called Them Say. That one's be bad. So we got to talk about the Creolese, and we got to talk about how them talk false name. And I saying that Buxton can't the market for false name. But what is this whole business of false name? And what's that about? The man himself gonna tell y'all. So y'all come on the Zoom and listen and come with a false name story. If you got false name, you can talk about your false name, how you get it, and how you respond to it. You know nobody been get false name right where you been? And you give them the false name, you come down tag the thing. Remembering there's something about names and villages, and it's part of our culture. Let's celebrate that. It's going to be end of August. I have the whole series coming, but I'm not done yet. I got lots more footage, plenty footage, so yeah, I must stay tuned. And for now, walk good. And I forget, Dara Dara, go get your thing. She got you covered. Good morning. Can you state your name and any other kind of information for the recording?
Okay, I think you know my name yet. But my name is Owen Oswald McGarrell.
Yes.
I'm a retired head teacher. I started my profession in 1975 at a tender age, and I think I completed it in 2010.
Okay.
Of course, I spent most of my years in the classroom, doing various things. I did some primary teaching, some secondary teaching. I lectured at Cyril Potter. I did some part-time teaching. Right now I'm doing some part-time teaching at Guyana School of Agriculture.
Okay, so all of this teaching is in agriculture?
Yeah, all this in agriculture. I even spent some short time in Southern Africa, Botswana, Southern Africa.
Okay.
But there I spent 6 of my teaching years. But all the other years were spent here in here.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you from school and so on, so you're a Buxtonian.
Born and bred Buxtonian.
So what does it mean to be a Buxtonian?
Proud to be a Buxtonian. When, you know, the thing about it is that we've got to understand our history. Those who do not know about us, something may be wrong with them, because Buxton has been touted for a number of years as one of the premier villages. Whether it's socially, culturally, politically, Buxton has always been in the forefront of things here in Guyana.
Yes. So it's emancipation time now, and everybody has emancipation fever. At least they will have emancipation on their minds. What do you think is emancipation?
I used to be a poet at one time.
Okay.
And emancipation, yes, we were freed from the colonial masters as they were. But before that, I need to let you know that I always tell people that we were not slaves. We were enslaved.
Yes.
Okay? Now, in terms of this emancipation that we are talking about, socially, yes, we have been, we've been delivered from the clutches of the white men, or those people who, the Europeans, because I think we were once also ruled by the Dutch, and also, history tells us that. But my concept is that there's still some degree of dependency, and because of that, there's still some degree of slavery. There is still some degree of slavery.
What does that look like?
For one, I can deal with the concept of economic slavery.
Okay.
I remember in the days, was a little by, just after independence. And, as a matter of fact, I was born before independence. I was there the first time when the villagers marched to BV. Right.
Why did they march to BV?
No, well, what we did, I think what happened, Buxton at the time had a lot of steel pans.
Okay.
So we marched to BV, and then we tramped around, and then we came back, tramped around Buxton and so on. Independence. Okay. Yes.
That's national independence.
That was the national 1966.
Yes.
Right. Me as a little boy, first time I walked behind a truck. Right?
Okay.
Right. Now, this economic slavery, in those days you find that women never used to work. And then, I want to throw this thing in a broad headline, because to show how society is degenerated from then to now. It all has to do with, this whole slavery business, this whole emancipation business. The women used to be at home. The men used to go to work. You find that the children who had to go to school, there was somebody to send them in the mornings and somebody to receive them when they come in the afternoons. Now, because now of the burden of economics, the women are now out of work. The men are out of work. I mean, forget those who like around and so on. There are jobs for them, but either they're not qualified enough, or they're too qualified. Okay.
Or disinterested.
Or they're not interested. But now, because the men and women are out, the children are left to fend themselves. Excuse me. That in itself is a burdensome to me, my concept is a form of slavery.
Okay.
Right?
And what are the knock-on effects of that in a village like this?
In a village like this, we got a lot of truancy, we got a lot of dropouts, people are beginning to, lots of people are smoking, they're starting off with the, small things, and then they move on to the coke. This is testimony to the, I'm no medical personnel, but I think if you walk around the village, you'll see quite a number of young persons who are out there, what should I say, trying to find a needle in a haystack. All right. They seem not to be in the best of the senses. Okay. So we have had our share of that as a result of emancipation.
Yes.
Right. So we need to understand that part of it. Okay.
So, in your opinion, is there a way to walk through this economic slavery as you see it, with the breakdown with our youth and within the village? Is there a way to walk through this?
Certainly there is a way to walk through this. And I think even though I was no fan of the PNC in those days, I think they had some measure of, how should I put it? Okay, there were some national things, for the want of a better word, touted, like feed clothes house yourself, which could have come down to individuals.
Yes.
We as individuals, we need to do more for ourselves. I'm no longer seen as an agriculturalist. I'm no longer seeing gardens. I'm no longer seeing people trying to rear a few animals. I'm no longer seeing people just trying to help themselves, trying to supplement whatever wages or salaries they're getting.
So what I hear you talking about is parallel systems, because you had a formal education track, and you have this practical track, and this feed, clothes, and houses that track, this national consciousness. So speak to us about, because I'm wanting this to the future generation of Buxtonians, to the young Buxtonians, no matter what age, 100 years, 50 years from now. Speak to them about what is it you do in your personal life to show independence, to show that thing of feeding, clothing, and all yourself. I've read articles about you and about what you've been doing on this piece of land. Talk to me about that type of thing, why you do it, and what does that mean to be independent?
Okay, maybe I'm going to touch on that. I think I did mention I spent a part of my life in Southern Africa, Botswana. When I was before I left Botswana, I said to one friend of mine, I said, you know something? I said, when I get home, I need to ensure that I do something for myself, not only to help me, but also to help the villagers. I told my friend that, when I get home, I'm going to get, self-employed. Even though I had intended to rejoin the teaching service here in Guyana, I knew it might have been a little bit problematic, because in those days, in the late 90s, early 2000s, when you leave this country, when you get back to get a job was a big problem.
Yes.
So I think from then I incubated the whole idea that, hey, I'm going to get involved. Not only to help me, but also to help my villagers.
Yes.
And that's where the thought came in that I was going to, as an agriculturalist, I was going to get involved in meat production, plant production, be it cash crop, vegetables. Yes. But so what I did when I came home, I got involved in pig rearing. I got involved in poultry rearing, both livestock, both broilers and layers. And I planted my little garden. And of course, I was able to rejoin the teaching service. Right? From what I'm doing, several persons have come to this yard. University students have been here to see what I'm doing. Students from the Guyana School of Agriculture, they've been here to see what I've been doing. Children in schools, or from schools, as far as Linden, they have come to this yard to see what I'm doing.
So let's resume. You told me that children from Linden would come here.
Yeah, as far as Linden.
Yes.
You know, would have been here in the yard to see what I'm doing. You see, what I'm practicing here is not the... It is neither modern or you know, conventional. You know, it's a mixture of the two. Because what lecturers want to see is that, you know, when I teach, you know, when they teach, we're teaching these things and we're telling you about what's in the book. But let's go on the ground. Let us see what is on the ground. So I've been facilitating, you know, students from those institutions, University of Guyana, almost every year for the past 6 years they've been coming here, right? And I want to believe that many of them would have learned something new, something different. Okay, but as I was saying, I really got into this whole business here because I said to myself, I said, you know something, apart from making a dollar for myself, you know, of course it's strictly business.
Yes.
I wanted to ensure that Buxtonians, that they get a cheaper source of protein. I also thought about employment, if I can employ 2, 3, 4 persons as well. Because at present I have one person being employed full time, and from time to time, you know, I employ others.
Yes.
You know, whether it's for a day or 2, depending on what I have to do. Right? So that is what I have been doing to stave off this whole thing about dependency and or you know, this whole thing about having to move on in terms of that independence, you know, supplementing, you of course are getting a pension.
Yes.
We know if you were living a particular kind of lifestyle and then now you're now working a pension, can't really sustain the lifestyle that you were having.
Yes.
So I pre-planned this thing about 4 years before retirement.
Okay.
So, you know, so that when I'm now retired, you know, I can be making something out of it.
Do you see that there's a future for that type of independence among other Buxtonians? Is this type of model exemplified elsewhere? Because you got a pulse of the village. Are other people doing similar things?
Yes, I've been encouraging quite a number of young persons to get involved. Quite a number of them I've sold because we were able to bring in an improved breed of pigs from Suriname. I was one of the first recipients of those pigs as a member of our national swine co-op. Right. Ever since I've been, you know, I've been selling piglets to persons who are interested. I have one condition when I'm selling those piglets: you must have a pen. Okay.
Why is that?
Pigs, as I know it, we used to have them running around outside. Right? There's a difference between pig and hog, you know.
Tell me.
Hog to see it, you know.
Yes.
Good. Pigs, I mean, we need to feed them, we need to ensure that they, just like us, right? They need proper nutrition, what. So I do not sell pigs to persons who do not have a pen. If you don't have a pen, don't come by. Check your pine blank.
Yes.
Right?
Because you want to see them build
entrepreneurship. Move from one stall to another. And persons have been coming in.
Yes.
They have been purchasing pigs. Of course, I go and check for the pen.
Okay.
No. Before I sell you, I go and check you.
You turn Japanese.
I go and check.
In Japan, you can't buy a car if you don't have a proof of parking.
All right.
They would not let you sell you a car, no proof of parking because you can't park on the street.
All right. So if you ain't got a pen, you can't get a pig.
There you go.
And I want you to turn the pig into a hog. Right. So, you know, persons have been responding in that way, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
However, some persons are still, you know, there's still a certain degree of negativity.
Yes.
You can sometimes get a lot of complaints.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, I don't really affect anybody around here.
Yes.
But, you know, people are complaining about the smell and this and that. All I'm telling them is get involved also.
Yes. How about zoning in terms of, is there, because I've noticed a place where there are pig pens, and I thought to myself, zoning, drainage, if we're going to move that way, where people were mining pigs and stuff before, I see more of it now, and I'm wondering what things are in place to take care of them.
What we have to remember is that Buxton is a village. Wasn't zoned in a manner for us to have livestock in a particular area. It was zoned primarily for crop.
Yes.
Right? Crop production.
Yes.
Right. But even though we still have that, the crop thing, pigs were always reared in the homestead.
Yes.
Not in large quantities, but today with fighting to ensure that there is food security, and safe foods and all such like, people are improving on the management system.
Yes.
Now, in terms of Buxton, in terms of the how should I put it? I don't want the ED, the environmental officers and so on. I think in the books, you have something which is saying that if you need to rear more than a certain quantity, then you need to get permission, so to speak. I want to touch on corruption.
Okay.
Some people who are not supposed to be doing certain things in certain areas, they're doing it.
Yes.
Okay? All because of what's going on. Friends who know who and who will know who.
Yes.
But we are not zoned.
Right.
We are not zoned for crop production. We always do our backyard thing.
Yes.
Right? But from what I understand, very soon we may be able to take our livestock farther into, the backlines. Okay?
All right. So is there anything else I should be asking, or anything else you have to contribute to this
I think earlier we were talking about whether I've seen any growth, any development in Buxton. I can say to you that yes, there have been some development, and as a matter of fact, I can answer the questions both ways. Yes, no.
Yes.
Right? Yes. We have been able to have a practical instruction center, which has been working assiduously towards ensuring that skills are imparted to the youth, those who are interested. We have quite a number of dropouts in these, these evening courses and so on. But yes, we are trying to empower our people to ensure that they, I remember as a small boy, before I could have got into the weaves, I used to be an activist of the working people land.
Yes.
And before you could have lined with us, you had to ensure that you did something. And I remembered most of our friends in that circle, some went to GTI, GITC, some of us became teachers, some of the practical instruction center is geared towards ensuring that, we do some practical skills. Because we're losing everything that we would have had. The best carpenters used to be Buxtonians. The best masons used to be Buxtonians. We don't have that now. Or even if we have, we have masons, but to point and say, look, this is a very good mason, or this guy has mastered this craft, we don't have that. So that's a good thing. We're developing in that area. In terms of education, I'm not too certain where we are going. Of course, there's the national policy, which I'm not too in favor with. When I looked at the policy versus in Guyana versus the one that I worked in Botswana for 6 years,
what's
it's
the
completely
difference?
Different. People are allowed to do their work without political inputs, anything from politics whatsoever. Here in Guyana, it's heavily political. It is, to my mind, is a form of micromanagement from the top to the bottom. And we who are head teachers, we who are teachers, we suffer the brunt of it because we are at the bottom of that chain, right? In Botswana, you're allowed to work. There's no time book, There's no book for you to write or sign at the end of the month to say you have received your salary. Nobody knows what's your salary. That you know. You know they used to get them pink thing long time GPL?
Yes.
Everybody's salary coming something. So you tear your edges and you know how much you earn for the month.
Yes.
Okay? Here in Guyana, everybody know your business. Apart from that, I'm not too certain if our teachers are doing a right job. They're not in it for, it's just a job.
Yes.
Right? For them, it's not a vocation.
Or a calling.
Right, I just want to earn money, I got to get money. Then again, too, I think that the salary that they're getting, that teachers are getting, atrocious. I mean, a trained teacher getting about probably $80,000 a month. Think about it, man, 300 US, just 300, 350 US or something that I said. The money's, you know, and when I equate the thing, being working here in Guyana, I've been working over in Africa. The monies that you're working for over there, far, you know, it's much more than we're doing here. Over there, you could have taken your month's salary and buy a refrigerator or a freezer. You still got money for sale, you still got money to eat. Here in Guyana, because of the salaries making, you can't afford to do that. So, I'm just touching on the fact that Buxton now has a PIC, but then we have disgruntled teachers, we're doing afternoon programs, but yet still people are not satisfied. That may be good, the PIC. Cultural organizations, I mean, in my days we used to have lots of drama groups and so on. You know, I remember the other day, Dr. Ife was asking me what about getting back into drama. I told him that I'm not too interested. Because even though I'm a trained dramatist, right? I was one of those few dramatists that was trained at the bottom. That was my option, drama, English language. You find that because you couldn't sustain a livelihood on drama, I had to move on to other masters. And that's how I went into agriculture. Right? What else can I say to you about that? Positive, PIC. Negative, our company canal. Until we can get bad black water in the canal, I think Buxton is going to continue to suffer. Not only Buxton, but if you check through all the East Coast, whether it's Maika, whether it's a bit better for Wapton, if we don't get back that black water in the canals, we're going to suffer. There's so many other things that I can touch on, but
that's a good point to end on. And why is that company water important to Buxtonians?
Man, look, man, this is what we used to drink. This is what we used to wash with. This is what we used to bathe with. You used to steal a swim sometimes, but don't get caught by the rangers. Okay? Because they've got a lot of questions to answer. And a cut behind.
And licks.
Right? So we need to ensure that our company canal gets back to its former glory.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How many piglets in this one?
I have probably about, I think 7 piglets. It's a Faro 12, man.